everybody, it's Violet Grant from Violet Grant Soapery here in Adelaide. I'd just like to share with you a brief video on how I go about wrapping my soaps. Now, while I haven't placed any soap making videos online at this stage, I'm planning to do that in the very near future. It's just a matter of getting it set up and having the best outcome as far as video is concerned. I don't have great lighting and I don't have a super camera. I'm using my mobile phone. So I just thought today what I will do, just so that I'm, make a bit of a start, is to just show you how I package my soaps. I've opted to keep to a simple type of package, and so I'll just pretty much go over what I do. I like to use paper products rather than plastic products, and I'm a palm-free soapery, so I don't use palm oil in any of my products, and I may in the future go to something that's sustainable, but at this stage I haven't opted for that opportunity. So I thought I would show you just how I package my stuff. But what I'll just show you in the first place, this is my funky soap. This was meant to be a cold process soap, but the fragrance oil actually, oh my goodness, it played up something chronic. It seized up my soap straight away as soon as I put it into my beautiful butters and oils, and so I quickly popped it in a container where I could slow cook it and heat process it. So it's a really, really beautiful solid soap. It was meant to be green and blues, but it's obviously the colours muddied while I was mixing it around in a crazy manner just to get it to survive. But it turned out to be quite a beautiful dense soap, so I'm really quite happy with it. This is my jasmine petals soap. Very strong sort of jasmine flavour, probably not one I'm into, but I know others would like it. Anyhow, so what I do, most of my soaps are done in just a typical small loaf. I'm getting organised to get bigger moulds to put them in, but at the moment I find the best option, rather than lining a bigger mould myself, I find that all the corners actually are rounded on one side and square on the other side after the cut. So, and I don't like to waste soap, so I don't trim them down. I thought, I'm just going to have to get a big slab with a liner inside it rather than lining my own. This one's a nice, square edges and everything, but I don't mitre the edges of my soap. I like to keep as much soap for my customers as possible, and I love the fact that others do mitre theirs and they tidy them up and they look wonderful, but not for me. I just prefer just to have as much soap as possible. Anywho, moving on. So what I do is I've actually got some freezer paper here. I cut it off a roll, and this roll I got in Woolies, and it is a freezer paper, but it's as cheap as chips. It cost me probably about $1.80 for, I think it's 5 metres or something like that. So I cut it up into 3.5 inches rather. It's matte on one side, shiny on the other side. I usually put the shiny side down on the soap so that it protects the soap when I package it with my little wrapper that I'll put around it. So just square it up into, it doesn't have to be in the center of the actual thing, but what I do is I just pull up the sides like that, just crease them, and I do this for every soap so that each piece is wrapped appropriately and it fits the size of the soap, because I've got a few different sizes, different heights, that kind of thing. So just mitre over the corners like this, and I put it into a little sleeve, because all I do with my soaps, let's see, bring one corner over, just hang on to it here, bring the other corner over the top, make it a nice neat little tuxedo. So pressing it down at the bottom, bringing those corners in, And you'll notice that it comes across there. That's not a problem. Sometimes, depending on the length of the soap, it can be a little bit shorter down here, so you might have to just make your freezer paper the size of your soap, the height of your soap. So I've just mited and bring them in. And now what I do is I use, instead of sticky tape, I've got these little circles. Now, I do believe they are a plastic of some sort. I just want to check out and see. It doesn't actually have it on it, but I'm assuming it's a plastic little circle. And I got these at Kmart for $1.80, and there's 270 in the pack, so they're a dirt cheap item. And I find that they look a little bit neater than just putting some sticky tape on it. Sticky tape's not a problem because you can use a very small amount. And I just bring that up, stick that down on there, just so that what that does is it protects it from protects my strip from getting any oil that may still be coming through the soap, but also it gives it a nice neat little package. I sell my soaps online in my website at violetgrantsoapery.com, but I also have a local cafe that sells my soap, and I like to put them on the shelf. So when I put them on the shelf, I don't want them sitting on a shelf that might have a little bit of dust or anything like that that's going to detract from the soap or make it less professional looking. And, you know, I've watched Rhonda, I think it is, from Nelson Interior Soapery, and her soaps are beautiful and she packages them so beautifully. I love the way she uses the paper. She has it printed up and they just look really beautiful. But what I opted for was something more simple. And this is my strip. Now, I did this on Canva, and I could probably take you through and show you how I did it. It's pretty straightforward. It's just a matter of getting these things in the right place for the size of the soap. This is an 8.75 by 2 inch. Obviously 8.75 by 2 inch, and I've put my logo on the front. I've put the name of the soap on the front. I've put my details here on the side, and I've put VG, which is Violet Grant, Natural Beauty, and then I've put all the ingredients and the weight on the back of the soap. Yeah, so that's how I do my labels, and I just basically just center it in the middle of the soap like that, press down, put it over, tuck that white piece under there. Now, all up, I've used, let's see, I've got a little dot there that I put on. I was using sticky glue dots to glue it down, but I found that it was just a little bit too harsh. So I opted for these little round circles. So that's in the center. You've got that on the side, logo and the name of the soap on the front, my details on the other side. So yeah, all the ingredients that I put in each soap go on the back of the label. And I put for external use only. Now, I know that you'd have to be pretty much brain dead not to realise that soap isn't to be eaten. So yeah, that's how I package my soap. And the other thing I just might mention too, I bought these online. I'll just move that for a minute. They're 500 sheets and they're Logan wraps, and you just pull them out like that, simple as. And this is what I do when I send my soaps off. I put them in, put that face down. So here's where I use a couple more of these dots, which is unfortunate, but every time I send soaps off in the mail, I package them in one of my awesome little black boxes, and I'll show you that in another video, I think. But usually I bring that up like this. So these wraps are a waxed paper, and they're called Logan wraps, and I use the 6 by 10 3/4 inches. I haven't been able to find these in Australia. I got them online through Amazon, and I'll try and find where I did that and put the link in anyway. But yeah, I just, as I said, I opt for all paper packaging as much as possible. I mean, these little dots are there, and yes, I'll wear that one. But basically, when I send these off in the mail, I like to have them wrapped individually, and I usually just put the soap in the middle as much as I can, and then I hang on to this. I don't stick it down. I'll just move that up a bit so you can see it. So I go in here and just basically wrap it like a little present on the other side. Because it overlaps, it's a little bit, it's not just a single piece when you're wrapping it here. I think you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so just press that down and bring this part up. Where are we? There we go. And I'll put a little dot on there as well. So I use, turns out to be about 4 of these in the whole soap wrapping process when I wrap my soaps. The reason I wrap them individually is because if someone wants to give it as a gift, it's pretty simple. All they need to do is, you know, pop some pretty paper on it if they would choose to. And the other reason why I wrap it in these is just so that when I've got a variety of scents in the box, and because they're not plastic wrapped, the scent is not contained in the individual plastic wrap. I like them to be somewhat contained because some of my soap scents are quite strong, particularly this one. And so I just put, so there's 1, 2, 3 on the tag, another one on the base. Now that's how I wrap my soaps to send. I think that's pretty cool. It's environmentally friendly, apart from the plastic dots, and it'd be good if they could be like a biodegradable, but I haven't seen anything that's biodegradable in this plastic sticker. Yeah, when I do my lip balms, I like to make them safe, so I plastic wrap them, but it is a biodegradable shrink wrap that I use on those. And on my beard oils, just around the top so people can't tamper, I put a little sleeve around the top of those, which is a biodegradable plastic. It sounds like an oxymoron really to say biodegradable plastic, but it's biodegradable material. Anywho, so yeah, that's how I wrap my soaps. And yeah, I might do a mini video on this as well, just how to organise them if you're choosing to do strips around your soap that are pretty straightforward. This is just copy paper. It's a good quality one. I get it from the local Office Works, or my hubby does actually, and I just pinch his. But yeah, and my whole vibe for Violet Grant Soapery, I like to just keep it black and white. That may change in the future, but yeah, I just designed the logo on Canva, and I just liked the way that it looked, just simple and black and white for me. But you know, something on a like one of those brown, I can't think of the name of it at the moment, but just you know, you can put put it on card and wrap it around. I don't think it needs to be on card personally. I thought about doing that in the first place, but I just thought, you know, it's just not necessary. I mean, if this is all you're using, like a strip around your soap, then go for card, because while it might be a little bit more expensive, it would probably look pretty cool. But because I've got the paper underneath this, I don't feel I need to have cards. So it's just I don't know, probably 80 to 120 GSM paper. So, and I just printed up on my HP printer that I have here. I do have a laser one, but I don't use laser all the time for my printing. Even my beard oil stickers that go around the bottles, I print those up on a waterproof sticker paper so they don't run or anything, and I don't use the laser for that. So yeah, just a normal printer for this. And yeah, so there you have it. That's my little soap package. So yeah, leave me a comment, complain if you don't like how I do things, but I'll try and put some videos up about my soap, even my bombs. And this is not the first time an oil has bombed on me where I've had to hot process. And I've got my Bro Bars, my very first soap that I made. Oh my giddy yarn, it just went crackers. As soon as I put the Yacht Club fragrance into the butters, it just went, it seized where I'd opted not to use the stick blender at that point, and I was using a whisk, and then all of a sudden my soaps seized, and my whisk, I couldn't get the whisk out. It was just, oh my goodness, enveloped by the soap and panic. It was my first soap, and I thought, oh my goodness. But you know, people online are wonderful, and they suggested that I hot process. Now I had already got it into a slow cooker to hot process it, because I wasn't going to waste all that product. As you know, butter, the beautiful cocoa butter, shea butter, all the beautiful things that go into your soaps. You don't want to waste that material. And you know what? The Bro Bar has sold out. I've sold out of that pretty much. So I had to make another batch. And when I made the second batch, same thing happened. Yacht Club fragrance oil. The only way I'm going to use that oil in the future is to hot process the soap. So yeah, my Bro Bars and Yacht Club and the jasmine petals, this one here, all seized up. So they'll be hot process soaps in the future. I won't even try to do the cold process thing. But anyway, I want to give a shout out to someone who has really encouraged me and inspired me, and that's George from Dawn Organics. He's just such a rock. And when I was freaking out over my first soap, I was madly looking for his phone number to try and ring him to see if I could get some help from him, because I've been watching some of his and Ellie's from Ellie's Everyday Soap. I've been watching some of their videos, and you know, the wonderful thing is that he had seen one of my videos on, I used to do videos on journals and made a video on a soap that I'd made, and he actually emailed me and offered me a soap cutter that was his when he first started making the soap, because I was just hacking into mine with a knife. I didn't know what else to use because I didn't have a soap cutter. And yeah, I just want to give a shout out to him. He's a great guy. He's an Aussie soap maker, and he makes all kinds of wonderful things. And yeah, I just want to thank him publicly, and also just, yeah, send you on over to his site at Dawn Organics on YouTube. He's very technical in some of his information, and yeah, you'll get some really good advice, and also you'll get some lovely soaps that he makes. So yeah, with that, I'm just going to say ciao for now, and hopefully I'll be back in the near future with a soap, even if it's a disaster like the ones I've just spoken about. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe. This is a brand new YouTube channel for me in soap making. It's my very first time to get stuck into soap, and I'm addicted. It's just so great to do it. And as an artist, I'm trying to come up with all kind of creative ideas for my soaps. So it's really quite exciting, and I'd love to bring you along with me. So yeah, in the future, I might show my face on camera, but for now, I'll just maybe make a few soap videos and put them on. So thank you so much for watching.